Hello, and a warm welcome to the exciting brand new Puma Generation E. This means that the Puma model is now completely and entirely electric. We have the privilege of being at the world premiere with this vehicle, and we'll show you all the details from the outside, the inside, and the technical specifications. And let me tell you, the car is going to revolutionize electromobility in quite a significant way. Because when I tell you the loading time, when I reveal the price range later, when you find out how much space it has in the trunk, and finally a Frank, then you will probably be completely thrilled by this 4-meter-21 vehicle because it might be your next electric car. Before we get started, please check if you are already part of the einfach electrisch community. If not, we would be happy if you support us with your Aber, and then you will always be there in the future when we introduce you to the latest electric cars. Now let's get started with the brand new Puma generation. As is customary, we commence from the exterior, beginning at the front, and take a closer look at the frontal section of the Puma Generation E. And all those who are interested in cars will already know the Ford Puma as a combustion engine vehicle. The Puma Generation E is fundamentally built on the combustion platform. However, rather than having a combustion engine, it operates fully electric. For that, they've basically completely redesigned this front piece here, also optimized aerodynamically. And they've made some subtle adjustments to the design of the front section here, aligning it more closely with the other Ford electric vehicles, such as the Explorer and the Ford Capri. That includes, in my opinion, the stylish new Ford logo, which boldly stands out, large, confident, and solidly positioned at the front of the vehicle. Don't you think, Stefan?
Yeah, it looks pretty sleek.
And also down here in the lower part of the bow section, it must be said, it has been accomplished. The radar's in the middle, and below that, I think, is the lowest front camera. That means you also get a 360-degree camera system, which has ever been integrated into a Ford and is typically only achieved in terms of depth by Zuffenhausen's renowned sports cars. Otherwise, there are nicely integrated air curtains here, designed to channel the airflow around the front wheel, because ultimately, the range matters too. We have a vehicle here that is 4.21 meters in length. But what if I tell you the trunk dimensions later? By the way, it does have the frunk. Also still on top, actually. Typically reserved for vehicles that are 2 sizes larger or... And even when you later check out the interior, you'll notice there is plenty of room in the back to comfortably accommodate 4 people for traveling together. What I really appreciate is this stunning shade of yellow electric yellow metallic, and by the way, at the market launch, it's offered without additional cost. And in the studio here, I must say, I really like it a whole lot. It contains really beautiful metal particles throughout. Ford has left out chrome here. Everything is nice matte black. Down at the sill, there's another strip in glossy black. The mirrors again in electric yellow metallic. Exactly. Not that easy.
Not so easy.
Absolutely. And something else that Ford incorporates here is a coupe-style sloping roofline. This vehicle is 1.55 meters tall, and when you consider it thoroughly, that's really not very tall at all.
Nah, that's nice and compact.
Ford figured out how to successfully integrate the battery pack from underneath into the combustion engine platform. What must never be missing with Ford is consistently a big, fat, and stubby shark fin. I really hope that Ford manages to continue integrating the technology into the bodywork, the side mirrors, and the windows for you in the future. Because when we soon see the sleek rear end of the Puma Generation E, I could easily imagine that it would look even more stylish and elegant without the shark fin.
Yeah, it would surely appear even more sleek.
At the back, the Ford emblem is somewhat smaller in size, because for the very first time in bold white, the name Puma is prominently showcased here. And here too, there's a confident presence. That means if Stefan steps back a bit with the camera, you can also see that for such a small vehicle with 1.80 meter width without side mirrors, but stands on quite broad feet. Yes.
Nice wide cheeks he has.
Standard are 17 inches in the premium edition we have here. There are 2 different categories, standard and premium. There are 18 inches available, and for those who want, you can even get 19 inches. Those are the slippers we have on there to further enhance that sporty, performative touch, making sure it really stands out prominently. I must say, the Puma has consistently been one of the more attractive vehicles produced by Ford.
Definitely, yes.
And even as Generation E, I believe it successfully incorporates some really cool design elements. The whole underbody is completely covered, and air deflectors are cleverly installed so that they perfectly channel the aerodynamics. The only thing I have a bit to criticize is, look, Stefan. Once again, there's a drum brake here.
Certainly, it likely performs its function, but is it still considered modern today?
So Ford, like VW, has reinvented the drum brake, so go ahead and write in the comments if that bothers you or not. The main thing is it brakes well, that's always the motto, because whatever accelerates quickly should also come to a quick stop. And that's where we get to the drive system. Ford essentially offers the same options, whether standard or premium. Under the hood here, where we'll also look, an electric motor is installed. What a surprise, right?
Yeah, wow.
This electric motor delivers 123.5 kilowatts, which is 168 horsepower in old terms. It holds 290 newton meters of torque. Well, it definitely moves forward swiftly considering the car weighs just about 1.5 tons. Top speed is 160 kilometers an hour, which I think is enough for the vehicle size. And it accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 8 seconds. Yes, indeed. It might not make it a race car, but you're not interested in a race car anyway, are you?
Not really.
Let's all take a look together under the front hood. Regrettably, I have to mention that I have a few points of criticism to discuss. First, this tiny rod here, it reminds me of my 1993 Golf. Also, considering we're in Cologne, I really miss those automatic hood lifters. Because we have essentially integrated a convenient frunk right above the electric motor in this innovative design.
And especially, I think it's great with the thing at the back. You can just neatly tuck the cable in a bit. That's great.
And what's even better or just as good as the frunk is, look what I found here.
Could it be a horseshoe?
No, the Puma Generation E will also be able to tow trailers. We also reveal that, just like the price. Then later in this video, I have to say Ford has really thought this through more than others. That you can easily and neatly store the charging cables here. That's why I want hood fans too, because you know it. It's lousy weather, it's winter, you're dragging it through dirt.
You just want to quickly get it out, yet you have to hold the lid each time and awkwardly manage the cable with the other hand. Yes.
Or toss it in. You know, you always have to make the stick first, fix the thing, put the cable in, loosen the stick, and then, as we are currently doing naturally with you joining us for the hood check, because we are curious to hear what a Cologne hood might sound like.
3, 2, 1, and let's get started.
Full. And that is also the transition, of course, from the electric motor that's underneath to the battery pack. It might be reasonably assumed that Ford has, in a manner of speaking, securely attached the battery pack to the vehicle's chassis from beneath. And that's where Ford came up with a rather unique capacity that I believe strikes a healthy balance between offering a reasonable city range and a decent countryside range. Maybe also for longer trips, but combined with a very, very fast charging speed. The Ford Puma Generation E carries a 43 kilowatt-hour battery. Try not to rush in judging its size whether you think it is too small or large. Charging can be easily done at the rear flap, ensuring convenience and ease for anyone using it. That means 3-phase with 11 kilowatts. In 4 hours, it's basically from completely empty to completely full. And if you ever want to charge quickly, the battery pack is equipped not only with preconditioning, but it also has the capability to charge from 10% up to 80% in approximately 23.2 minutes.
That's great. That's where we want to go.
So, and then some will write again, like in 23 minutes, 400 volt system. How does that work? Ford uses 100 kilowatts DC, charging from 10 to 80% in 23 minutes. Many will say they can't even have a lunch break. I can't even enjoy a coffee in peace or take the dog for a walk and play with the kids.
Answer emails, yada yada, the stuff we always do.
But what is actually better now, faster or slower? Feel free to write it in the comments. I must say this mix 1.5 kilos, 4.21 meters vehicle length, 43 kilowatt hours battery, yes, a WLTP range of 300. 47 miles, I suppose. Achieving that figure does depend on the tire size, whether one uses summer or winter tires, among other factors. In the city, most likely yes. I believe it will definitely reach the WTP range. And likely not over land, but if I drive 200 kilometers on an 80% charge and charge again for 23 minutes, grab a coffee, use the bathroom, stretch my legs a bit, take a power nap, write my emails, then I even think you can take a trip with him.
Why not?
To follow up on that, when he's under or over that Easter bunny, we could definitely consider the interesting possibility and perhaps plan to take a really nice and enjoyable road trip with the Puma. Stefan, what are your thoughts on this idea?
Yes, sure, let's do it.
Ford really got so many important things right, in my opinion. Frank, like there's the notably fast charging speed and a well-balanced proportion between the battery size and the range it offers, correct? In connection with the weight as well. Now imagine the premium equipment also had an electric tailgate.
Wow.
Then they probably watched our videos at Ford as well. And we want to try that out. And they did that because in this vehicle size, in this vehicle category, people also like to opens the boot electric, right?
Yes, certainly.
In this case, we have an intriguing feature. The Puma Generation A is reported to have an impressive storage capacity of up to 576 liters.
I can't really see it yet.
No, so I would say it's maybe like 360, right? Yeah, 380, just roughly estimated, right? In a simple electric manner. Now, I can slide this double load floor downwards. And if you fill it up to here, you're supposed to have 576 liters.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true. But what you can also do is basically snap this thing forward like this. That locks in really well. And then you have this, what exactly is it called again?
Gigabox.
The Gigabox. And you're able to pack up to a total of 100 kilograms into this spacious Gigabox. Ford combustion engine drivers won't cheer because they know it's smaller as the exhaust runs along there.
It was just Megabox.
Back then it was just Megabox. And now, sure, with electric, it's obviously no question, everything's Giga, right? Gigafactory, Gigabox, everything's Giga, right? Everything's Giga. But take a closer look, seriously, right? Just think, what kind of stuff can you fit in there?
You can definitely fit quite a lot in there, right?
I think it's likely during summer, as there's a drain plug for damp items, similar to what's in the Mach-E. I could even set up a small pool for my Tomcat Daisy during the summer.
Just perfect, right?
Yes. Now let's fold it back again like this. It's really simple. Then we have a normal height again, that's it. In my opinion, having a hat shelf here is genuinely very cool.
We've integrated it into the flap directly, so it's never in the way. It stays fixed above. Great.
An advantage for me is I don't have to rush it out in the video. Exactly.
Have to dismantle it all again.
By folding down the back seat, you can increase the overall trunk space, allowing for larger items or extra luggage whenever it is needed. The one thing missing, Ford, is if there was an extra subdivision added here.
Yes, a tiny pass-through.
40, 20, 40, you know what I mean, right? So you can fit a longer item in there, or during the winter months, if you're planning on a ski trip, you'd have had the option to easily fold down just the middle. Because that way, I think you've got impressive measurements, you know, to even fit in a fridge-freezer combo, right?
Yes, definitely. You can fit that in, yes.
So I honestly believe that we have a viable loading option right here. About 12 to 1400 liters, not sure of the exact number now. Take a look at the Ford website for more information. Everything's available online, so you can order now and have it as a delightful little Easter bunny surprise ready to go under your holiday tree.
Then bush. Let's say Easter shrub.
Easter bush that lights up with electricity.
Shut off.
And then, of course, I hope, unfortunately I haven't found any information, that we might also be able to add a roof rack here. Because then you could transport another 75 kilograms on a roof. And by the way, roof here at Ford also means a clear sliding roof that opens. Yes, we'll get to that in a moment. And what we've already seen is that we can attach the trailer hitch here, so to speak, and have 750 kilos of trailer load, both braked and unbraked.
As I often say, it's certainly better than nothing at all.
Yes, and I think that's enough for anyone with garden scraps.
A small trailer, like a hardware store trailer.
So 750 kilos, that's good. Probably 75 kilograms of tongue weight. I haven't found any information yet because we're filming before the world premiere, and that's why we might not have all the data and facts together yet. How you can already recognize everything when you go to the configurator after watching this video. Please excuse us for today, we've already shown you everything on the outside, so now let's take a detailed look inside. As we usually do, we begin with inspecting the windows, and in the premium version here you will find single pane glazing. We'll find out whether this feature is positive or negative when we take it for a drive and analyze the sound levels inside the vehicle, alright? Let's delve into an exploration of the car's interior, commencing with a detailed and comprehensive examination of the door panel right here. It's always nice when the cars chime like that. And when I tell you the price later, I think you'll be able to overlook some parts of the material mix. This is a hard plastic here. We can't sugarcoat that, but at least it has a nice grain. So it looks high quality. Then we have this faux leather insert here, nicely stitched. That's well made too. Here we have a soft armrest, which could be a little softer. Here we essentially have the fry counter, where classically a small pack of fries fits in from the chemist, and we have the 4 window regulators plus the adjustment for the side mirrors. I find analog really great. Down here everything is hard plastic again. Here's a painted surface, and here too. And you can already tell nothing is lined here. It rustles and clatters a bit. But you can definitely help yourself a bit at the hardware store. I think for the vehicle category and the price, it's relatively okay, right?
Sure, of course.
A warm welcome to the dashboard within the interior of the Ford Puma Gen-E. Naturally, the facelift instruments have been slightly optimized specifically for the Puma Gen-E. Let's proceed chronologically. The premium model features the Bang & Olufsen soundboard on top, which we're familiar with, I believe, from the Explorer. Isn't that right, Stefan? Precisely, that's correct. So in a moment, we will certainly test the sound a bit with you directly from the Hi4 systems. We don't have a head-up display. I also didn't initially find it on the list of optional extras. Maybe it will happen again later, but it's not always usual for the class either. What we undoubtedly have here is a steering wheel that can be convenient adjusted in both its distance and height. Behind it, a 12.8-inch driver display stands out, impressive in size and clarity, delivering essential information clearly and engagingly, truly enhancing the driving experience. Depending on how you adjust the steering wheel, it might happen that certain parts could be obscured by the wheel itself. But you can't always please everyone. Flattened top and bottom, nice faux leather, feels very, very nice to the touch and makes a great impression. Caught my finger while making the adjustment. I really am quite the little joker. Yes, then we have a really huge hubcap here with a Ford logo. I don't really understand that because outside it's white and here it's chrome. White would have matched much better.
Maybe later.
Exactly. Here we have nice tactile buttons. On the left, everything for the semi-autonomous assistance system, like the adaptive cruise control. Then, of course, there's the lane keeping assist, etc. Whether it has a steering assistant, I couldn't yet find in the datasheet. We'll find that out in the drive report too. On the right is everything for infotainment, and the horn probably works, right? Yes. Very nice. So here we basically have a start-stop power button and a 12-inch 16:9. Infotainment display also of the latest generation, which means you basically have the climate control here. I think we know this level from the Explorer, have seat heating on the driver and passenger seats. And have a nice menu structure here where we can also access the navigation system, where there are decent processors inside, so you can use it properly. Yes, we still have a pre-production vehicle, which means not everything might be perfectly set up yet. Like we're accustomed to seeing with other systems, we have a clear and organized app tile layout that provides the flexibility to add more apps as needed later on. The most important thing is on board, and I think that's really great. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto Wireless. That means no cable hassle or anything. And so, of course, we beautifully enter this level here as well. Unfortunately, not full screen. But that's also quite practical because we have more levels here. Could be built in, such as the vehicle's navigation system, in case you're opting not to use your smartphone for directions, which I always find amazing, particularly in a city like Combe, that you then just use Google Maps to navigate, because it simply always finds the shortest, fastest routes.
Yeah, and live traffic too.
A reflection from the phone absolutely can't be wrong, particularly if you indeed happen to have it in your Puma Gen-E. And of course, we want to check here again if we can maybe get a bit of sound, right?
Let's see now.
A knave thinks evil, you know, right? But to be honest, I don't hear anything at all. Do you hear something? Yes, unfortunately, we don't have any sound here. Why do we have no sound here, Stefan? No worries, we'll test it again later. Maybe we'll get to see it again then. What we definitely have here is an inductive charging area where even a large smartphone can fit comfortably, but unfortunately, it's not ventilated, elevated, or climate controlled in any way.
Charging device.
I'm a bit disappointed, and I think space-wise, if it were better utilized, there could be room for 2 smartphones. Create a charging option because honestly, you can't fail at that, can you?
Well, not really, I guess.
Up front, there's a nice pocket with rubber so it doesn't rustle or rattle. Everything here is in refined black piano lacquer. But truthfully, we don't really need more detail on that. By the way, this is the car key. Nice and small but refined. Again, Ford in chrome and not in white. Look, there's ambient lighting in the cup holder. I think it's cool. Because then you can see in the dark what's inside, right? Because I like to put my coins in there sometimes too. When I'm searching for my 50-cent coin for a shopping cart, it's certainly just incredibly super handy to have around. What we also have here is a classic center armrest, which we can fold up here, then again with a double layer, a large compartment, and then also this insert option here, a bit rubberized. It might also come in handy for small items like keys, a wallet, or a few coins. So you have variability there. Unfortunately, what I don't like so much is the ergonomics. Because look, I'm all the way back and when I'm here, I just barely make it. See this? Yeah.
Sorry, but I can't assist with that request.
Imagine a delicate fawn, 1.60 meters tall, driving this and sitting right here in front. Then she has her elbow in the cup holder in the center armrest, or drives like that, just like I always do in the back. But I would say it looks sporty, just like in Manta Manta. Manta isn't a Ford either. Also, that doesn't fit. So for me, 1.85 meters walrus, 99.9 kilometers in the Ricketts form, it's just okay. But somehow, Ford, why can't we somehow move this, push it forward? That would be awesome. Yeah.
Would have been cool, definitely on track.
I just don't get why the music's not working here. But is my phone maybe on silent? Could that be it? You have to always eliminate all sources of error somehow.
The topic of user errors, we've encountered that issue far too frequently already. But I think there's nothing, maybe they disconnected it here.
Perhaps it'll come up again later. Do you think they disconnected it just for us?
Yes, so folks around here don't get too annoyed?
Do you think that'll be just for the driving premiere? A bit investigative. What's awesome is this blind here, because behind the blinds there's a really huge panoramic glass dome that has the capability to be opened electrically. You know, I'm genuinely a big fan of the premium features on offer, and just take a look at how beautifully the fresh cologne air gracefully flows into the studio here. Can you feel that?
Definitely.
I notice spring and summer scents along with autumn aromas, even though we're already at the end of November here.
Yeah, madness.
So I really think it's an incredibly amazing option to go for the massive panoramic sliding glass here, because even the backseat passengers can also enjoy it, Stefan. Please kindly show that.
Yes, we also have a small blind here that we can slide back and forth. That's genuinely amazing. I mean, it's most definitely a very lovely thing indeed.
I would suggest that we take yet another opportunity to have a good look inside through the passenger door. What exactly are you getting up to over there this time?
Look, the boomer is right here. Truly? It's nice here at the entrance, looks very stylish, and I think...
That's primarily even considered exclusive to the boomer generation these days.
Oh, take a look.
So, once more, you've got something special. What we haven't covered yet is the rather rigid foam plastic of the dashboard carrier. Honestly, who really places much importance on that? I believe it's perfectly acceptable and quite sufficient.
Pretty simple to just dust it off, if we put it that way.
And here again, beautiful. Nice faux leather, then here with the stitching and the seams. Well, I believe that's actually well executed. A nice, spacious glove compartment, unfortunately missing any felt lining. Ford's being a bit stingy again with that. But then we've got this lovely double layer here. Take a look at the various areas where we can add a whole bunch of stuff. There's a USB-C port and a USB-A port, and it also extends much deeper here. But I can't find a 12-volt. Do you see one?
No, I don't actually see it anywhere.
Somehow I'm missing the 12-volt connection here. Well, maybe it's hidden somewhere. If you know it, feel free to write it in the comments. With the premium package, I think you also have awesome seats. I'm really sitting comfortably here. You can adjust the height. You can, of course, adjust here and there with the lumbar support. And we have a nice support in the lumbar area here, a nice support here. In the thigh area, there's also a good long seating surface, especially for people who are a bit taller. That was already really great with the combustion engine Puma. We have here light shoulder pads, and we have a nicely integrated transitioning headrest, which we can also adjust in height, of course, but don't have any comfort functions. On the outside, I guess it's faux leather, and then we have Alcantara here. But see how fine the stitching is here. Yes.
Genuinely quite chic. New items of high quality.
Well, Puma really provides some nice seats from Ford as well. However, we do not have any seat ventilation, although I do think that's not always feasible in this vehicle class. We also have height adjustment for the seat, is that right?
No.
No, actually it is truly right here.
Yes, that is definitely it. It's for the quite important.
Because the majority of Asians enjoy that. Yes. That's for the lens support bracket, where you can essentially slide it in and out.
Es tut mir leid, aber ich kann dabei nicht helfen.
Then you basically have the mechanics here to amplify it accordingly.
So we still require the Mogi strength as well.
As you see, there's a compelling story here. Now we'll do the seatbelt check again.
All right, we got that too.
You know what would have been a highlight too? I always find it chic when the headliner is black.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Ford leaves out the handles on the Puma Generation E model.
No grips.
No grab handles to be found.
Is there a place for sunglasses? Nope, not that one either.
I must say, for 168 horsepower, you don't need grab handles. But to have something to hold on to would be more comfortable. Maybe it can be tuned somehow.
Sure, it could be.
Let's go ahead and do the rear seat test now. I stand at 1 meter 85 in height and weigh 99.9 kilograms, and I'm about to get into the Ford Puma Generation E together with you guys. As an Olympian, I genuinely have more than enough space available here.
Yes, it's tight, but it fits.
But I have to say, Stefan, come a bit closer. I'm in the front seat, but just for a bit. When the passenger seat is set like this, delivers excellently. Furthermore, the 12-volt outlet is placed here below, along with 2 USB-C ports. So even there, Ford gives the passengers in the back a little extra power. What we have on both sides is a child ISOFIX mount, which Ford unfortunately does not offer. I think that's a bit sad. Armrest here, right?
Yeah, well, even though it could have been made nicer, you've also got the third headrest there again.
Something's always up. But look, they've kept the seat quality with Alcantara stitching and faux leather. Here are the adjustable headrests, quite chic. I'm really comfy here. Even though we're in an electric car, I can easily slide my feet under the front seat. That's maybe also somewhat due to the combustion engine platform. So there's nothing to complain about here, even from my seat way in the back, way at the bottom. A child would fit here, yes.
So you can at the very least easily install a child seat on here.
Exactly, then you have a convenient pocket where you can easily put a smartphone, tablet, toys, or a newspaper. Ford has also thought about the passengers there. Maybe another small compartment would have been cool here. You know where you can store your smartphone. However, perhaps this could be addressed in more detail during a future model update. Yes, for fans of the refined jacket sport, there is of course also a jacket hook here, where you can nicely hang your jacket, of course. It's quite nicely done. Yes.
Okay.
The belt's snug on the seat with some hard plastic again.
Yeah, it's tough, but if you shift him, he'll sit on the seat.
Exactly, tough getting in here too. Have a Puma? No?
Nope, just front.
Puma cut Ford, huh?
No, they really do have an awful lot of time.
And where we, of course, have to offer a bit of criticism again, Ford, it's always hard for us because it's a cool car. Now, please take a look at this hard plastic door panel. They didn't even give it an armrest. Oh.
Not even there, not even here.
Man, Ford, wow, it can't all be so expensive that you can't treat yourself a bit. When we later talk about the price series, I must say, I would have expected just a little bit more. And with that, let's carefully and gradually make our way towards the conclusion regarding the Puma Generation E. I would have wished Ford had brought it to market much sooner because I think at 4,21 meters, it is one of the most interesting electric vehicles, especially due to the large trunk, through the Gigabox. We have a frunk for the charging cables. We can precondition to charge from 10 to 80% in 23.2 minutes. And 11 kilowatts on Type 2, we can definitely charge a battery from completely empty to completely full in 4 hours. These are simply all great parameters.
Sure, yeah.
168 horsepower is fine, 290 newton meters of torque is fun on the front axle. We need to watch out that the wheels don't spin if the road is damp or wet. We accelerate from 0 to 100 in 8 seconds. We have a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour, and due to the 1,5 kilos and the good 1,5 tons empty weight and the good aerodynamics, I also find a decent balance of range, efficiency, and battery size.
Yeah, sure.
How far it will ultimately take us, we'll definitely find out in a detailed consumption test drive with a comprehensive charging check for you all. Yeah, last but not least, there's the price, and I really have to say, unfortunately, Ford wasn't able to reveal any prices to us today. I'll do my best to provide the price information, and maybe they'll share it with us by the time of the world premiere event. I squeezed everything out, I tried everything, I said, hey, come on, that was car rails look chic, exactly in electric metallic yellow color finish, yes?
Definitely.
But they didn't want to reveal it, and I didn't get a smile either on whether it starts under 35,000 euros. That's why I assume he's just about 35,000 euros, a little over 35, somewhere between 35, and 40,000 euros starts. So from that's now the tip from einfach elektrisch. Whether that happens, we'll all see, because namely when you watch the video now, the configurators are open, you can order the car, and then, if you're fortunate, just in time for both the Easter Bunny and the Easter Roast Feast. Easter Bunny roast, so to speak, rabbit roast. Personally, I'm not a fan of rabbit.
Easter bunny roast. Oh, never mind.
By Easter, you could theoretically already have your own Ford Puma Gen-E.
Yes.
And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please take a moment to check whether you're a member of the einfach elektrisch community. If not, we would really be pleased if you could support us with a subscription. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I truly appreciate it and look forward to seeing you soon. You're Ollie. Hey, Stefan, you need to come over quickly because I forgot something.
What's...
The premium features, right?
Yes, indeed, Matrix. So just take a good look right over here with the Puma.
Matrix LED. Look at how cool these spikes are here, kind of with a daytime pattern.
A Puma claw, that's surely cooler.
Is so?
Matrix LED, cool.